Through, like you mentioned, Michael, we've got Deco, who, all eyes on him as always, and Slacks on the other side has maybe a bit more to prove now that we're back online.
Yeah, I think there was a real test to be had for Slacks when it came to the major. I think there are people that are sort of looking at this roster and thinking how they might be able to make an upgrade, and it might be on that old position. I think Slacks definitely has a lot to prove to retain his position, and also just make sure that he kind of silences all the haters, silences all the doubt, because the Sprout team has been able to achieve things that the previous Sprout roster hasn't done in quite some time. You know, I mean, we think about making it to the major in the first place, making it through to the RMRs, and making it to the Legends stage. Like those are not shy accomplishments. So we want to see that this new roster continues to thrive and grow. Sure, there are players that are looking to be scouted. You know, there's rumors circulating around the circuit, but there's always rumors building around certain players and teams, and some of them don't come to light. I know we talk about our good reporters' track record in the CS space, but when things are wrong, we just drop it. We're like, oh,
Michael,
guess it was just a rumor.
Listen, man, I've got to say, though, maybe sometimes we can say it's just a rumor, but when it's Sprout, historically speaking, they lose their best players. Okay?
Yeah, no, that...
Like, this team was not meant to be, it was meant to become a tree at some point. The problem is, every single time, someone just comes and plucks out the sampling, they go off and they're like, well, time to make my own garden somewhere else.
Trimming the hedges, oh god.
So, it's very much about Blaze of Glory style. Can we get to wherever we can get before someone else gets our gets? I don't know. But the point is, the Counter-Strike is underway, and Lonks is trying to get busy over in B short.
Yeah, got a lot of early control. You can see 4 players here stacked for 1 win, and Sprout are still occupying the lower water area. They instead bypass a lot of that presence and make their way through connector. No one from 1 win decided to play so forward. It's not on the A side of things. They are leaving Deco to hold in on that A bomb site. His plan, just delay as long as possible and get confirmation on numbers.
Well, confirmation has been gained, and as soon as he can hear all those bullets coming in his way, he's just going to try and get at least one before he fades out. That's a long pot he's taken for himself. Ends up suffering a goosh because of it, and that gives plenty of time for this bomb to be planted. No kits on them, don't forget that. Fact.
Very dangerous. Travis has to be the instigator. You can see he's probing. Lonks is playing close, so instant headshots are very likely at this range. Glowing not even anticipating of it, and the double kill comes in nice and swift. This retake is looking like it's getting shut down at the gate. It's not a singular kill. Not even much damage being done to the Sprout side. 1 win stumbling before they even get back into the bomb site. Not a single kill in the pistol.
I've got to say, man, that retreat path from Deco was very strange. He fully strafes out to the right while not even facing them, so it's not even like he could be trying to go for a straight pop shot or something like this. I'm kind of confused.
I think he got flashed. So we saw the smoke being lined up and the flash thrown over. I'm fairly confident that while transitioning, he just got caught by that flash and didn't know where he was.
Very possible. It's hard to see when you have your eyes closed.
Indeed.
Very deep like that in Counter-Strike casting.
Your eyes are burned by whatever flashbangs do to them.
The bright light, man.
Yeah.
One day, they'll find sunglasses, and they will have their lives changed. Until then, we will watch these anti-ecos, and refresh will come through. So the first initiation, flashbang forward as well, just to try and see whether the MAC-10 can get involved. Refresh instead is just cleaning up everything with an AK, not quite the height of efficiency, but hey, man, kills are kills. Shout out to Vu, recently, and by recently, like maybe 15 minutes ago, put out a very interesting tweet with an Excel sheet about Blame F's statistics for initiations versus eco rounds versus initiations against gun rounds. Apparently it's a lot higher versus eco.
No, I mean, yeah, you watch their games. I could have told you that before you said that.
But he did it with a spreadsheet, Michael.
He's got the facts.
You know, those spreadsheets make it all much more official. No utility, actually, left from the CT side beyond 3 smokes and a single flashbang. So even if you want to try and get aggressive to compensate for the lack thereof, this is going to be a nigh impossible task. You are effectively hoping Sprout just runs into your crosshair at this point.
This dynamic 1-2 punch of OneWin is setting up for a bit of long pressure. It's all about whether Deco gets actually cleared from this bathrooms pursuit here from Sprout.
I don't think he's been spotted out so far. He's just much more concerned about this long crunch to maybe come through. Deco good with the first, and as Sprout will be fading away, they do let out a quick flashbang. Molotov as well, ready. Xiphon will find Deco, so the trade is good, but can they discover Travis before Lollipop eliminates them? They're trying to re-navigate back to long, but Lollipop won't let them get there. Bomb's been dropped as well, right next to Headshot. That's a 4-2. Sprout struggling to scale.
Good kill from Slacks, only on the right, but clearing the left and making sure that there's nobody in his close corners. Lollipop still hasn't been flushed out, and he could really just find another kill here. Great little crossfire set up between him and Flamey, locking down 2 of the entrances to this bomb site. OneWin their first round, and it looked like Sprout had the advantage there, just in terms of the sheer amount of numbers that they were bringing towards that site. They were getting past the long pressure that the OneWin were establishing. But just in their pursuit of getting into the site, yeah, the scaling breaks down, and they grind to a complete halt. Mollies, as you'd expect here from the default of OneWin. Very late nade there from Deco, but still finds its mark.
Deco might be marked down pretty soon. That is a scary bit of utility, but the T-side smoke is all he needs to retreat back, and in the meanwhile, Glowing has found Lonks, and that gives them full control back over the B-bomb site. So, whatever they want to do, rotations, explorations, anything beyond that, of course, we know that, they don't.
The player might be Travis inside of the connector. Finds a timing would be great. Flash for him will be thrown. Lollipop trying to set his teammates up for it, and actually not being able to find too much. Deco will fall. So things kind of slow down here for Sprout. They know that they've instigated some action, and there's likely to be rotations towards this A site, but I'll make it too readable. They divert over towards long. That's where the brunt of the assault is coming from, as well as the late lurk from Xiphon. So Travis is boxed in, and it will be a 3-on-3 on the site.
Double D flash to go through. Travis isn't boxed in. They're boxed in with Travis, and Going is right there with him. 4 players kept alive once again. OneWin, a fantastic shutdown on the T side that leads into what should be their first anti-eco as well. Deco's prepped himself up with an MP9, and I've got to say, OneWin, I thought that previous round was unlikely. They made it look smooth as can be. Now, even better.
Yeah, it's cool as well because, I mean, as much as this is risk-taking and it can look poor when it doesn't work, we are seeing OneWin go for a lot of individual aggression. Like, we have Glowing sort of slow pushing into short water by himself. Like, if there's 2 players there, there's a world where he maybe falls. Like, he has a connector player that can quickly trade. That's the contingency plan. But we've had him go in for action like that. We've seen Deco with how aggressive he's playing towards middle, even around the amount of pressure that Sprout are throwing on the defaults. So they're not afraid of taking these duels, as they shouldn't be. Not too long ago, Sprout OneWin, it would be much easier a call to 50-50. I think with recent results and recent showings from Sprout, it would lean more into their favor. With ranking certainly reflecting that as well.
Man, I don't know, because for me personally, Michael, and this is a characterization for myself, Sprouts always seem like the team that punches up really well, but also falls down to some people worse than them pretty regularly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I have that same characterization of this particular squad.
That's true.
I see what you mean.
That's more like an organizational assessment.
Yeah, it's like some voodoo curse.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what's your team name? Sorry, buddy. You're not about to win this one.
Well, it's Glocks. And a whole lot of them. There's the hipster of the group. And so we'll have a pistol that can do a little bit more damage at range. they're trying to contact up into this A bomb site. One singular flash, Lollipop blinded up, and so that allows him to get distance in. He didn't have head armor, so that Glock does a whole lot of work, but Travis makes sure that rifle does not leave into enemy hands. No problems here for OneWin to sweep that one up. Sprout only really wanted to do damage, get a bomb plant. Those were the primary objectives, and neither will really be accomplished. Only one casualty for the CTs.
I have to say I'm enjoying this version of Lollipop that we're seeing, just anchoring the A bomb site, playing very nicely with Travis off of him. Admittedly, a lot of that comes down to not being heavily contested with like a lot of utility, a lot of need to get aggressive in the past few rounds. But I do generally like how he's being used right now. That is for sure.
Yeah, we've certainly seen, I think from his Namiga days, he's felt like he had to do a lot constantly, right? Like he had to instigate the action, and he'd have to clutch as well. And had to be a jack of all trades. But yeah, no, I think this is definitely one of his strongest roles. And he has aggressive players. We've seen Glowing, Deco. We know that they like to go in for these sort of late round peaks.
Yeah, they like to get frisky.
Yeah, so there's no real necessity for Lollipop to be that guy.
Flash being lined up for a quick B-pop, and this is going to be just a train to run forward. They will end up falling apart. Flamey, though, while blind, is only good for the one. And the repeat back out over is going to wait for Travis to make his way down. The only problem is they don't have any incendiaries or grenades to try and prevent the bomb from being planted, so instead they'll do it the old-fashioned way with bullets and brain and brawn, and they've got plenty of each. Back down to a 2-on-2.
Oh, big mistake. Had utility to make this plant on the bomb site possible, and now Stairs has to put into the 1v2, doing damage, but Travis will find the trade in the end. Really a chance for that 2v2 to play out so differently, but Slacks decides to challenge Heaven, and OneWin had the man advantage they needed to bring that over the line. That's a major mistake. Slacks has all the utility there between the pair of them. It's only, I think, Stair recovers one on short because of either a fallen teammate or the kill he got. And by the time he gets there, his teammate's gone. He needed to put that smoke up to provide a little bit more safety, because his Stair could cover everything. It isn't a possibility when, timings are a little off. You're having to worry about the connector flank. Util down would have certainly helped. But that's all in hindsight.
I think one of the things that I find really interesting about this one, Michael, is obviously, and this is about Sprout in general, you mentioned about how the international lineup thing is what a lot of people are talking about. Personally, I was surprised more people haven't talked about the fact that Sprout are somehow looking like they're somewhat making it work with 3 Danish players. Because, historically speaking, in an international lineup, you don't want 3 players to be in the majority, or 2 players and a coach of the same nationality. That generally ends up creating cliques and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that was the fallout from the whole Optic saga.
But in all fairness, when you look at the players involved in that, and everything that's come to light, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it puts some things into perspective.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen as well, attitudes have changed.
For sure. Beckle right now, though, is about to start farming them up. Good for 2, and it's set up for Travis to come through with a little bit more than just 2, and as they're maybe even going to think about chasing after them right back to the toilets, because right now they've got full log control, and the only problem is Lollipop doesn't actually have a flashbang, so Travis can't feel too comfortable moving inwards. Otherwise, you betcha he would have liked to go in, and flash or not, Travis gets a frag regardless. Lollipop will be the trade, and Travis gets aggressive from behind it, drops the ball, and guarantees his safety.
Well, it's not guaranteed just yet. If he crosses, Xiphon is holding him in position. Travis has to be sharp, and he is exactly that.
He's so good.
Yeah. Someone get the sandstone.
I won't lie, I don't get that reference.
It's supposed to be like a sharpening stone thing. I don't know. I fumbled it, to be honest.
It's all good.
The whetstone. That's the one I was looking for.
Whetstone, yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, see, wet sand.
No. All right, Anakin, shut up.
I hate sand.
Hey, that's not how to chuck it over. Come on, Lollipop, gotta get down on those dumbbells. He just wanted to keep that incendiary for himself.
Yeah, only threw the smoke in the end. looking real good here for one win. Oh god, wow.
Oh, that's such an annoying angle as well that it's held by Travis, but actually as far as back through it.
That looked like instincts as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, nicely trained, man. Flamey's just there to cover him off, and with that, they've got full control over the deep B area. The short's all they have to care about. And Slacks' op will be finding absolutely nothing after that initial miracle.
They've just been doing a great job of mixing things up on the CT side. They're going for different types of aggressive plays. They're throwing it in just to keep Sprout guessing, and they've fallen victim to quite a lot of the antics. And sometimes even when they're playing passive, you know, these late round positions like forward long or, you know, playing close to divider have been catching Sprout out. Might have managed an advantage in the guessing game, though. Majority of the players are setting up outside of B, and there's only Flamey really here to stop it.
Flamey's got to be careful. Almost fought with a flashbang in his hand, and now that he's spotted them out, the bomb's been dropped, and he's repositioning, but Zyphon's there to cover him off. The problem is the trade, and Slacks isn't there to try and participate in it. Finally given an opportunity and a second to debut, but Deco instead tags him up through the wall the same way Slacks finds his first kill. That's how he gets tagged up enough for Lollipop's nade to take him down.
Yeah, had it primed from as soon as he started to rotate in, knew that the tag had come in onto the AWPer. Great stuff here for one win. Communication is clear, and while Flamey did get dropped quite quickly, it was quite confusing as well, because he threw a flash from the back of the bomb site. I think for Refresh was just confused that it was only Flamey on that site, because one win had gone for a bit of a gamble stack towards A, considering a lot of the previous late round hits have been towards that A bomb site. It's understandable why they make that assumption, but through a flash, Refresh looking the complete opposite way of where that flash even came from, anticipating where that flash is supposed to be setting up a player.
So many more players over towards the B bomb site, man. First kill comes through. Deco's gone, glowing as well. Refresh, that's one way to do it. Deep Molotov will be immediately smoked off, but another to follow through. It's also going to land inside that smoke. Refresh getting so much territory will go ahead and find a triple entry to make his way inside. Hello, Cadian, is that you?
And he won't move. He's just being a complete nuisance. He knows that if he keeps these players pinned in position, he might even just kill them all. Wow. Refresh, a fourth, and Travis is still around this B bomb site. Come on, Refresh.
Make it happen, buddy.
Either an ace for Refresh or a 1v5 for Travis. Those are the two worlds that I want to live in.
Unfortunately, our choice of worlds might be limited. Lunks instead makes it at least a wallbang, so you get some consolation and style points, Michael.
That's a power play from the in-game leader.
Onwin thought they were the ones making the power play. You know, we're peeking out in a monster without smoking off anything like it, one by one. Surely we're gonna get the frags. Apparently not.
I mean, big miss from Decode. That goes massively punished. You know, he had the first swipe of the affair, and it was only really the trade attempt that made it go from bad to worse.
That'll happen.
Fastest short Molotov I've ever seen.
Man, Zofon's gonna end up holding the 5-7, isn't he?
No.
Doesn't even need to. That's just a free kill that he, free gun that he could actually end up finding over here.
After getting spammed to 18 HP, do you re-peek back into it?
Are you asking me or are you asking Zyphon?
I mean,
I think you might get a different answer.
Yes. The answer is yes, apparently. You know, Travis isn't convinced that he's the only player in Connector not moving in to retrieve that weapon as quick as it was dropped.
Still plenty of time, man.
I'll wait for a more opportune moment.
All he cares about is just making sure that he doesn't give Connector up right now, and for good reason. That could be the major point of contest later on.
Well, if they meet any resistance over towards this A bomb site, they will likely dart back through Connector. Travis has to hold this.
Well, resistance about to be met right here, but Slacks is meeting it right back with a bullet. Deco still alive inside. Lungs, what a shot from him. Turns around for a second opportunity, but Travis, Wins that one outright. Molotov being set up for the back of truck, I do believe, and that was going to end up blocking out his own teammates from actually taking the fight. He wants to funnel them through to the other side. Flamey, good for the one, almost goes and finds a second. Refresh has to pull out the clutch.
15 seconds and no HP. Going in towards that B bomb site is going to be a massive risk, and they are splitting up here on the side of one win, but Refresh is completely boxed in. As soon as he gets off this, very likely that Glowing just takes him out of the equation, and the headshot, it'll just be there to confirm it. An attempt is certainly made, and a very awkward looking round when it's kind of put into question. You know, we see Travis coming on this flank, puts a low HP, and he mollies his teammates. Yeah, not really sure what the call was there.
I think that molly doesn't actually spread to garbage. So your teammates can still come out in like a thin line, but they don't have to clear the right side? Maybe that's why?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it mollied like behind the truck.
Yeah, I'm on the right side corner, I think. Not behind the truck. Because you have to, like, press S just a little bit to molly behind the truck, and he didn't do that.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see how it spread, because we're kind of looking at it from the POVs of players taking fights, which is fine. It could have been awkward. It's at least avoided, at the very least. Well... That train, yeah, changed plans for a second.
The most annoying thing in Overpass, man.
One of the stranger things to exist on the map. Remember, there's a lineup for a decoy grenade to block the train. It stops it from moving.
That was before the days of Nord out here.
Yeah, I think that's been it's antiquated now.
Oh, his iPhone? Thought Deco would be able to spot him out for a second there, but instead it's Glowing who's just keeping an eye out for it. Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, you got to be so sharp to hit that shot now on the boost. It's become such a regular play for all teams at every level. Sometimes it's all just about the timing in which you implement it, and this time it was accounted for. Gosh, it really just feels like we're only really seeing A-side attacks in the rounds where Sprout has established map control. B-side success was a Refresh 4K, and that can't be relied upon to be successful every time. So persistent. Flax clearing out that post left. Deco will respond with his own AWP. But a 4-on-3, and they are slowing down. The Molotov and the smoke that was deployed earlier on has made things awkward. Refresh finding this kill through the smoke, and they get the double entry they need to. 10 seconds, there's no one around to deny this plant here for one win, and with the bomb going down, Sprout have a man advantage that realistically, one win's money in a really tight spot at the moment, so might even call this off for a save.
Thing is, even if you save this one, I don't know if you can actually blind the next one unless you're planning on force spying around 3 weapons.
Yeah, Glowing can drop an M4. We'll likely see some 5.7s about. They can pull together 3 rifles to make this at least somewhat feasible, but
Deco probably gets an MP9 together, yeah.
Been a labored affair in a lot of these A-side attacks, but a little bit of luck, a little bit of preparation. Spamming through a smoke when it is like that and you have reference points, it's not really luck. But just making sure that nothing evades their capture. And Sprout do finally break through on this A-bomb site in a round where there are guns involved. So,
wow. Glowing prioritizes more utility on top of it rather than maybe dropping over a pistol or something of the sort. Guess they do already have a 5.7 for Lollipop, which is the only player who didn't have one, so that's all good. Prior few rounds we saw them actually going for a lot less utility and a lot more firepower priority, so that's why I thought maybe he wouldn't be optimizing towards that. I like that though. Lollipop initially starting off with a couple of 5.7 shots out just to show that they do have a pistol or 2. Don't know if that makes a difference to what Sprout reads into this round, but hey. At least his pistol's shown off. Deco, nice shot to start things off. Didn't even need that flashbang.
And they're just trying to punish immediately. A player close on long bathrooms. Yeah, Slacks will be able to make sure that one is dead, but they know that's not the player that initially found that presence. Good kill from Lollipop. Just the immediate 5.7 headshot. But Deco is caught behind Molotov after Molotov and will funnel himself into Zyphon's crosshair. A flamey 1-on-3 is looking unlikely, but he'll, I think, try his hand at it. His teammates can't afford to buy regardless. Sprout may have just opened access to a comeback here on this first half.
If Flamey wanted to go for this one, then he would have probably wanted to go for the previous one as well. 2-on-3 in that situation, similar story where you can't buy into the next one cleanly regardless, so...
I mean, they pulled together 4 rifles for this buy. I think the context is a little different.
But true, but just can't see him going for this one over here. Got to keep in mind, lost bonus is still terrible. You're getting 1900 in the next one and then 2400 afterwards.
Yeah.
So, you know, a save rifle, if you can somehow get it to last across 2 more rounds, that could be a difference.
And we certainly know the impact that one rifle can have.
Especially if you give it to Deco, he gets a kill and then he's got money for an op. Don't think they'll do that, but I mean, theoretically.
We were watching some Asian Counter-Strike earlier. We had, what, like, Mosea, I think, on an AK that was saved on CT side, and he just aced. You know?
That is true.
We have evidence from today.
Hell, man, even Refresh early on just goes ahead and goes in for
kind of 1v4s on B. Yeah.
You know the guy's balling when he 1v4s in a 5v5.
Well, 5 players on the B bomb site. This round may end up being more boring than I was trying to let on.
Who knows, man? This is the nomadic territory. You know, one win getting ready to fast rotate from B to A to B. We're gonna see some Pronax calling.
Thing is, we have seen a tendency for slow working mid control, slow territory control from Sprout. A hit. That's been the flowchart so far. I think one win recognized that.
See? They're back to A. We're getting there. Pronax lives.
I hope he's doing alright.
So, I mean, he didn't bring you got things back. So that's really fun at the very least. But you know what's not fun? Losing your AK like that. And Glowing will be trying to get the hell out of there. See if he can save this one. But he is actually doubling. Oh, you hate this. He's doubling up behind Deco and hoping to be able to get a couple of kills or so. Refresh will end up taking him down. See, that is a terrible economical decision.
Yeah, you know, considering that you'd saved it and you had an out, I would agree with that. One win are aggressive as a team. I said it earlier, and I will say it again. Access has been opened. It felt like Sprout were really trapped behind a locked door for a decent portion of this first half. And now with them toppling the economy and finding a bit more success in some of their straight-up aim duels, because we've seen how sharp some of the entry kills have been from Refresh. We saw a nice sharp shot from Lonks as well on trades. The team is definitely there and ready to shoot, but they just haven't been able to make the right tactical calls yet. You know, One Win have had the right number of players there, whether it's been Lollipop or Deco or Travis, you know, pulling up some of these bigger multi-kills as well. Certainly makes a massive difference. They could very easily find themselves into even in like an 8-7 half, considering the momentum is shifted.
Bound to shift when you've got a player on 18 and 8, I feel like. I would love to see maybe a little bit more from Deco though, and the problem is that he's just not been able to find that up, and I don't think he will for the rest of this half, even if you win this round out.
Yeah.
And that just comes back to sort of strange monetary prioritization from One Win a couple of times over, so unfortunately that might be something to go back to the drawing board about later on. Remember, this is of course Sprout's map pick, so hey man, if you want to try and get creative with the rifle, I don't blame you for it. Definitely gives you a bit more flexibility, and Deco has been using it quite a few times over.
Not exactly uncommon territory, though, for One Win.
True.
If they want that ult, they're going to have to pry it from Slax's cold, dead hands. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised Stair could even see Travis round that corner, but Trying to make use of the one-ways, and the flash is perfect on B. Flamey, the sole anchor, sole person in charge of it. Blowing had is short, but no real access into the site itself. A 5-on-3 that's not looking likely and is likely a save.
Yeah, the only person who's close by enough to really do anything is Glowing, and he's just hoping that he doesn't get found out before he can get to safer territory.
Yeah, and they can't escape to long A or the bathrooms right now because Stare is still lingering.
Stare is terrifying in this position. You have to go somewhere. That's sort of the only issue, is that you're eventually going to be hunted down, and now that Stare has revealed his position, Toilets is certainly out of question, and the remaining T-side players are looking to get hunting. Slacks has been left behind to try and take care of the bomb, just in case there's any ninja shenanigans going on here, and of course he will be A-OK back in jail, but Refresh takes that first peek forward. Deco seen and spotted, but good for 2, and that's how he saves. Lollipop, less fortunate.
At least some will be saved. That's the minimum that they could ask for. And looking like Sprout are really going to turn this ship around. I think we were, what 7-2? I think was the scoreline.
Yep. Only the pistol rounds and the conversion. Initially, at least.
I'm sorry.
Then Refresh goes Madman.
Yeah, sorry. I think 7-3, in fact. But yeah, we've seen some great plays to reinvigorate and motivate this squad, and yeah, some of it has come from the captain. You said 18-8, now 18-9. Just inside of the connector, look at the bottom part of the pillar, as you would expect.
Indeed, very important.
4 players in proximity to this B bomb site though, and Sprout have got the majority of their forces also set up outside of it. Not whether Star can find anything.
Utility not the best for the CT side of it here, though. They've used their last flashbang available on this bomb site itself. Deco's got another one actually, and before he can deploy it, Lunks is already inside. It's a quick shot through. Flashbang now deployed from Deco. They can find nothing off of it, so now you're out of the utility to give you a favorable duel. And look at what Sprout is doing. They're getting the hell out of there. Stare already. He's opening up a checking account right now, and he's checking out Lollipop. He's feeling pretty good about that one. Opens up the A-bomb site completely. Slacks has spotted out Travis on the rotation back, and Travis, with a quick one-way setup for himself, will instead now start to move back and prioritize the duel versus Slacks, who doesn't want to be here.
This whole round is so awkward to look at for OneWin. You can see the way they're trying to react, and Travis just knows he can't make much progress out of the connector. They've got more than enough players to take this bomb site with the limited resources that OneWin have available from CT. Travis is stuck. And
he's dead.
Yeah.
This time you can't save. Glowing and Deco have got to go for this one. We've seen this 2 versus 5-1 4 times over now. Finally, we'll see an attempt made at it, but don't think that attempt's going to amount to too much. Sprout teeing up for the 8th, despite that big lead that OneWin had initially. Just not able to do anything from it. We're off to a break. When we're back, we'll have to see whether OneWin can make things a little bit easier for themselves on their T side. 8-7 might be the scoreline, but Sprout came through with a lot of rounds in a row, and I have to say, looking very much unstoppable so far. Let's see what the 1-win have any strategies on the T side that can put an end to this domination.
8-7 for CT. The nerfs were too much. They were a factor, I will admit, but Lonks will be the factor to instigate at least some action over for Sprout. The first kill is there, and they immediately fall back. They want to try and get to the site faster than 1-win can pedal their way in.
Max is hoping to quickly shut them down. Nice shot to start things off. Not actually revealing that second player. Flashbang is what helps them with another peek. Long's good for a second. Could it be 3? No. Travis shuts him down, but only to be refragged by Refresh, who's still hiding in behind this Optimus. So iPhone comes through to replace him. Refresh even goes for the old loop-de-loop. Won't be needed, but what a confusing position to be in if you're Lollipop.
Yeah, I thought I gushed you. I thought I dinked you. You should have been low HP, but no, it's a different man altogether.
Nani?
The old switcheroo. Yeah, from a 7-3 half was looking like to a 7-8. And Sprout having that nice run of form towards the tail end of that first half has really changed the story. And now winning the pistol, it can create a gap that 1-1 will be stressed to fill. I need to get some cement or wood filler, as I've discovered is a thing.
I don't know what that is, I'll be honest.
The problem with watching too many woodworking videos on YouTube, you get all sorts of things recommended to you.
Well, they've had their wood worked over here on the B-bomb side. A lot of dinks all over the place, but they won't have too many splinters. That's all good. They make sure their joints are nicely joined together. That's pretty much all I know about woodworking.
Yeah, if Sprout were actually a tree, it might be offensive to say I've looked at woodworking videos, but they are still small.
Hey man, Sprout. I believe in Sprout's ability to work wood.
Well, 1-win have got their hands onto AKs, which have a wooden finish. Well, I'll save that. One was close. Flash is great. Glowing completely overwhelmed, and the trade is going to be lined up there from Deco.
So sharp.
Yeah, Deco, sorry. Some nice early impact with that AK, but Dinks exchange through the wall. Stair will try and get himself out of there. Slacks has his fallback with a scout. The buy for 1-win is considerably better than what Sprout have to offer in this round. And the thing is that you can't even really treat this as a full bonus, because when you enter the follow-up, if you want to prioritize utility, you're probably going to end up on similar weaponry. I'm going to running very light on utility themselves. The last smoke that they had has been used. And the last flash, too. Have to go in dry.
I'm surprised. Oh, Deco's inside this one. Never mind. I was about to say I'm surprised he's not burning, but it makes a lot more sense when you're covered by water. Or whatever smokes are made of. Lollipop quick trade adds iPhone. Can't do much more than actually hope to land the dink. And the second player is Refresh, who's substituted him, Travis. Nice shot from him, but Stair keeps things even. 2 versus 2. Slack still will have a hard time getting involved over here. So it all comes down to Stair and whether he can actually get into position in time. Slack's demise is met, but he does deliver at least one shot over. That could be a quick second from Stair. Will be able to connect and back to a one-on-one, but the problem is Travis could be anywhere. He was last seen aggressing slightly towards the bridge side, so Stair is expecting him to have already proceeded through to under heaven or maybe even to CT, while Travis takes about as default of a position as can be.
Yeah, real paranoia here for Stair. So concerned about somebody push forward, but when he gets on this bomb finally in the later stages of this defuse, he's going to think he might even just have it, and this would be a free kill for Travis. If he peeks out wide enough, okay. Got a little nervous there. He only gave it a haphazard jiggle and didn't see Stair on it, but he went for a little off-axis defuse. No problems in the end. 1-win will convert on their first T-side round. The consolations they're having to make coming into the follow-up buy. Sure, you get your hands on M4s, and every single one of them seems to have converted to the M4A4. We've seen some still linger on the A1S. It has its advantages. The cost is the big one.
Results and the Tracers are overpowered, to be honest.
Yeah. But it's just like you win first round, you can get your hands into a second round M4 and util.
Look at how fast Refresh has been to get into this position. Flamey completely unexpecting, or rather unsuspecting. And it's an immediate 5v3 as Stair continues his dominance towards Connector. He's been very good there, I have to say. Even the previous round we saw him versus Travis, being able to bait up that first shot, even though Travis had such an advantageous position to be holding.
Yeah, a really tight spot now for one win. Only one survivor from that last round, so not even as good a buy. Well, we will see once again a Molotov and a smoke, and the player that should be Molotoved out, taking Sanctuary within it. The smokes are made of weird stuff. Maybe it is liquid smoke.
Makes sense, right?
Yep, I mean like liquid ice, liquid nitrogen.
Indeed. Flowing though as he starts to take the push forward. Refresh will substitute out Zyphon only to suffer the same fate. Lollipop searching for a gun to be picked up. It's a Galil that's been blown away just a little bit over. Quick bomb plant will at the very least be able to come through. Stair is hoping to rotate in through Connector and this boost up. Actually, rather, not Stair. It's Long's hoping to rotate through Connectors. He will find that duel. Deco to fall. 3 players kept alive. They're perfectly content with this. Sprout will be able to find the 11th. Very comfortable.
Yeah, great call on the boost as well there from Sprout. As soon as they realize what Longs is up to from Connector, they just want to keep tabs on players inside of the site instead of just simply doing nothing and waiting for that Connector pressure to sort of culminate or actuate. One went unable to really account for all the positions, and Sprout will keep 3 alive with 3 AKs to boot. Let's see a half buy in from the Russian squad. Not completely Russian, right? Belarusian, I think. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they've got 3 Russian players.
4.
Isn't it 3? Wait, let me check. You might be right.
Yeah, Flamey is as well, and Lollipop is the. I was just, you know, I'm bad at flags.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Me too.
He's
Belarusian. Okay. For some reason I thought they had a player from Ukraine. I don't know why.
Used to have Fostar. Else who Lollipop replaced.
Okay. Well, that guy's majority Russian anyhow.
Oh, Lollipop's like, where's this bomb? Eagled on the wrong spot.
And I'd love to see how many times Deco's actually been able to pick up the op this entire game. Doesn't feel like it would have been too many. I think some of the shine for these younger uppers has also died down a little bit in an unfair manner. I think, Deco, Zorte, a couple of these players who, people like us probably still give them a lot of love, but when they come in, everyone's like, oh my god, they're so explosive, they're going to be like the next Dexter or something, but it always takes time. You need to be in like a team environment which can actually enable you to get there as well, and Stair right now, as he comes in from behind, will only be good for the one, but that's a bomb he drops, so at least he will be delaying them quite a while longer. Longs with a kind of iffy spray, but he gets his work done.
This could have been weird. I mean, Refresh was right behind Stair, and he mollied themselves off, so they actually couldn't pursue much further. But they do want to keep one win completely contained towards this A bomb site, because they know that's the only target they can hit. Try to make sure
15 seconds left, yeah. Oh. Just a single casualty, they're good with that.
Yeah, no problems. I think it's also something to sort of realize. I know we've got kind of, I wouldn't say lucky, this is often filtered out in academy systems or I guess previous teams. But in general, like a lot of the up-and-comers seem to, have relatively, I mean, they probably have egos to a certain degree, but they seem to, have the right focus and the right mindset to be a professional player. That's what academy systems should be breeding.
Also, man, I mean, just look at how good they've been at transitioning to LAN.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. The fact that people like Wonderful can get to like the semifinals of a major, you've got so many players who've just been good on LAN. When you consider back, I don't know if you remember the player Nexa from Big. I think it was Nexa. There was these players who just stayed on teams for so long. Nice shot from Slacks where we're like, these guys never do it on LAN, but all the new rookies can get it done.
Yeah, seems like the new wave has been born in a different world. Well, that's a pretty unworldly shot from Lonks, all things considered. Not sure if he was trying to escape from Connect or just giving it a little glance, but anyone he met, dead. One minute looking more stuck than Sprout were on their T side. At least there were a few rounds where they got entries and they maybe sort of collapsed to sort of the late round setups, but trades are looking good. Travis, nice double kill to at least open up a point towards this B bomb site. There will be rotates coming in nice and quick here from Sprout, and the missed smoke is not ideal.
And it's going to be lethal. Absolutely lethal. They can't actually get onto the bomb site and get the bomb plant out. Grenade's good as well, but doesn't quite go deep enough. Flamey, in the meanwhile, hidden back in jail. Stair realizes it is just waiting for the quick peek to come through. Stair, what an angle to be holding off as well. Just backs off to safety, perfectly done. They can even configure up a boost now if they want to with 20 seconds left. No utility to try and stop it. And as Chavez goes for the bomb plant, it is a fake tap out. They start to move in onto the bomb side. In the meanwhile, Longs from the side comes in. He's going to be able to deny the bomb plant as well. Flamey's just trying to die before the time ends. And that'll be the 13th for Sprout. What a performance coming out from them across Overpass so far.
Yeah, you saw Stare as well. As soon as they recognized it was bomb planter dealt with and a 1-on-2, he was prioritizing his life and maybe even trying to go in and save that AWP. You know, the only way they lose from there is really just by applying too much pressure, maybe losing their fights. So small attention to detail, but you know the contingencies were already in place. Just, you know, Lonks wins the fights anyway. On pistols, Sprout are making this CT side look nice and easy. It's quite funny as well, you know, we consider how many times the Sprout side attacked the A bomb site. OneWin have really, I think, bounced accordingly between the two sites a little bit better than Sprout, but have found less success. So maybe you should just stick to one side. Eventually it'll crack through.
Well, right now, Stair and Longs are cracking through one win, and they will continue to do so. Obviously, this is just against the 5-7, so not too bothered about it. But Longs having this kind of performance consistently over is definitely something I'm sure Sprout are very happy about. Especially because, you know, Longs is maybe one of the players who's got fewer prospects just because of nationality. He has to go to an international team, and not that many international teams that are particularly better than Sprout that are still looking for players right now.
Yeah, there's been talks, there's been rumors, but yeah, it is.
You don't talk about those.
Yeah. Hey, wait a second. You brought up rumors before.
Hypocrisy. Is that you?
I know. It's mental. Journalists. What can you do?
I'm not a journalist. I definitely make that. I am not a journalist.
Well, 6-round deficit here for one win. And it has been a struggle throughout. Only round that they have won so far in this half came down to a 1-on-1. So they have gotten one win in the half. Haha, low-hanging fruit. Nice kills to come out at the start of this round, though. Refresh taking a lot of damage via a tag and then a bag from Flamey, but there's an advantage gained back. Keeping it at least a level between the two squads. Maybe a little flash play or just actually contacting right into short water. Lollipop wasn't expecting this whatsoever. One player will dart back, but actually just fake the jump. The kills are coming in nice and quick here for one win, but the bomb is nowhere near the players that are circulating this B bomb site. So Slacks actually has an opportunity to sort of pick them off, but smoke on the heavens. One rotate that he was likely heading for being shut off does mean that the AWP will likely be saved. Scrappy fights are happening everywhere kind of around.
I think that's the only way, unfortunately, that the one win are able to win it out, though, because the problem is when they're scaling up to the bomb site, their executes have just been looking a little bit lacking because they've not been able to get their members assembled in the right position. Sprout, when they're close to bomb sites, are so much more willing to take these early fights, and Refresh going down early on as he tried to push through the Molotov just made a whole world of difference there. So Scrappier is better for one win. I think that's safe to say. But, man, you're not going to be able to get too many replications like this easily, at least.
Yeah. If you're redeeming one of these rounds in every 3 or 4, you know, numerically,
You don't have those many rounds.
Yeah, Sprout will win first. So consistency is key. Replicatability, that's what we like to focus in on.
I don't know if that's a real word, by the way.
Well, replicatability, I don't know.
Replicability?
Eh,
I don't know. English is kind of weird.
yeah, no, I agree. Like, I didn't think comfortability was a real word.
Is it?
Yeah.
That sounds made up.
It does sound made up, I know.
Well, short water control won't be contested this time over, but 3 players playing from the top of connector is wildly interesting, gotta say. They do fade away very quickly soon after. They don't want to be lingering for too long.
Double mollies, but they're not really doing anything with it, is the curious part here for one win. Flash very late, but Sprout have vacated those positions and still held true on this B bomb, so I'm not really sure what the mollies are supposed to accomplish here for one win if Deco's taking solo control over at A, and they're not really taking space with the util.
What is going on here? Refresh is hopping around the map, but fully flashed up is Xiphon. He will not be cleared out until it's a bit too late. Xiphon gets just the one, but that's the one he needed. Slacks is able to get himself into position, but Refresh has continually been trying to go back and be a second barrels player. This time he's discovered before he can get into that spot. Travis to take him down, and that gives one win a real chance back into the game. Lonks hoping to play off of Slacks, and as he starts to move forward, Bridge has been cleared out, leaving Flamey all alone. Stair jump spotting overhead, just making some noise so that Lonks can start to creep through as well, but they've got the full crossfire going for themselves. 3 players, and it gets a little bit dodgy, but Stair is able to go for the quick swing out and guarantee that 15th.
Yeah, it gets a little scary when he gets a moments of isolated duels. There's a real chance that Flamey could pull something like that off. We'd have to roll back the ears a little bit, perhaps, but Sprout make sure to play together in that 3 versus 1, and they don't overstep their bounds. Again, very, very nice and methodical. Feels like they're all whipped into shape. Took them a while to get engaged into this game, but once they started jogging, they ended up running away with it in the end. Or was a marathon, not a sprint. One win ran out of energy.
Sprout's been sprinting forward pretty successfully, in all fairness.
Yeah, but they started with a walk.
So what you're saying is
Tortoise
it is
in
a
the
sprint,
hair,
but you should just like warm up first.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. I think that's good advice. Get your stretching and guys don't get injured.
Yeah, I mean that's transfers to sports nicely. Yeah.
One have got basically no utility. All they've got is their crosshairs, their left mouse buttons, and their prayers. And with 2 players inside monster tunnels, this might be answering those very soon. Deco and Lollipop make quick work of them, and this is where Lonks could be discovered as well. Travis eliminates what could be one of the last points of contention. Stair. Final hurdle to cross before this B-bomb set can be fully occupied, and Slacks is most likely forced to save, but Deco's there to cover off his teammate. Flamey, more than happy about that.
Yeah, really well done, really well read. You know, they get this double entry over towards B, and you could tell that Travis had an idea of what he wanted to do before those kills came out, and it didn't change his decision. You know, moving in to try and be a bit of a nuisance and show a bit of presence towards Fountain. Immediately sprung in for that extra kill, and I feel like that was the one that just made all the difference. Sure, the water presence would have been nice if they had a potential flank. You know, they would have maybe kept the water player in a safer spot. But it put Sprout in a spot where they needed to find a multi-kill very quickly on one of the remaining players, and just couldn't do it. Entries were lovely though, and this is one of those rounds where Sprout have tried to do something different. You know, we haven't often seen them go for this double peek towards Monster. We had maybe Flamey. Flamey and Glowing, I think, did it earlier on one-man CT side. What's got you chuckling?
Did you not see the guy just lying down on his side, sleeping on the job, Michael? Ah, man, it's the ragdoll physics.
Yeah.
It's just almost gets a chuckle out of me. I'm sorry, Michael. You had a very good, very serious point.
No, it's all right. I was just I don't even think about the ragdolls that often.
Well, Flamey. Oh, Refresh tried to get cute around that smoke, but wrong player to try and get cute with. Flamey, expecting it, will end up coming out on top. And Slacks hasn't generally been called to order as much so as maybe what you'd expect from a traditional op on Overpass, but this would definitely be a round where you can maybe hope that he can get it slightly more involved and slightly more quickly. Generally been circumnavigated around until it's too late in the round for him to really do anything.
Yeah, there's two different ways you can approach this as a CT Oper when you've got this one saved weapon, is that you can try and just force fights, and this might actually push Slacks out of his comfort zone, usually a very passive Oper.
Yes.
Or you can simply sit back and wait, but timing is great here for Siphon.
Oh!
Wow! Double kill really quick, and Slaxer will find another as well. Lollipop answering back with a double himself, and the rifles that they recover, the ones that they had to bring into this round, are dropped. Lollipop will have the advantage firepower-wise, but all it takes is one Deeg. Put him down.
They've had plenty of those so far. Onks and Sarah just waited around by the sideline. Lollipop needs to quickly get a tap out or something like it. Bomb's been tapped in the meanwhile. Sarah will not be mollied up, and Longs from the side comes in, seals the deal. Not the way that one win wanted to go, but it is the route that Sprout will deliver them back. What a round from Xiphon, being able to push through like that. Great few shots with the Deagle, and you mentioned it, Michael, maybe not be the biggest hitter, but when he does hit, he's got some extra brass knuckles on those fingers for the additional impact.
Yeah, massive impact from Xiphon, and Slacks as well. You know, we were looking at him as the AWP that finds this opening kill, and sure, it's an equal sort of trade.